Hello, it's Jari. I know people are still coming back in. But my question is, I'm not necessarily like a fangirl as I was back in the days. But right now, I'm focusing more on kind of getting into the music industry, music business. But my specific focus is in artist development, creative direction, and marketing. And recently, I've been getting a lot of independent artists hitting me up, asking for help on marketing and things like that. And I think since it's very new to me, um, this is like the first time I've gone into doing music industry type of stuff. So I do understand the purpose of networking, but I think this for right now is just me really trying to figure out what is it that I'm actually doing? What services am I providing? Because I've always wanted to get into music and helping artists specifically. But I think for me, it's just trying to understand like what exactly do I need to be saying if I'm going to small concerts or festivals and I do have the opportunity to speak to an artist. What exactly am I saying to them? Because I mean, I can say, hey, I do marketing, etc., etc. But I think like for me, I'm just trying to figure out what it is I'm saying to pitch myself to either help them or if they want to come to me, how do I tell them like what I'm really doing? If that makes sense.
Uh, oh, so just to clarify what you're asking, it sounds like you're saying, how do I kind of craft my pitch, or at least like, how do I communicate like the services or the experiences that I have or offer?
Yes.
Okay. So I think, and keep in mind, like I'm like baby industry like level. So to me, what's been working, especially like with pitching like talent management to artists or to content creators, is for one, understanding what problem it is that they're facing. So is it that they're have like a low follower count, or they're really trying to tap into XYZ geographic, or not geographic, but audience, and they're just having an issue with getting to that audience. And so their problems, of course, can range, but it's like you tailor like the parts of your experience that respond to the problems that they're facing. Or maybe it's like a problem that they haven't even noticed that they're having, like have you noticed that your engagement has gone down, or did you notice that not as many people got into your live? Do you know why that's happening? Oh, here's a way that I can help. And I think that over time, your services, like you being able to say like I offer or I charge X amount for this type of PR kit, et cetera, will come over time. But in this stage where you're transitioning from one industry to the next, you'll have like those few months, years, whatever it may be, where you'll have that model. At least that's what I'm doing. Have the model of like, oh, this is the problem I see that you're having, or this is the problem that it sounds like you're telling me you're having, and this is the experience that I have that can respond to that. um, and if you feel like, well, actually, I was going to say, if you feel like you can't really respond to those problems, then point them in a different direction, because I think that also speaks volumes. But at the same time, don't count yourself out, so it's this weird balance. But yeah, I would just say like, go from the standpoint of let them tell you their problem, or you tell them something you've noticed, and then tell them how you can respond to it based off the experience that you had that may not necessarily be directly music business or music industry, but has these and these same factors that are similar. And I hope that makes sense. And then from there, you'll be able to cull it down and say, I offer this price or this service at this time of the year, et cetera, et cetera?
I don't know if everyone can answer this question, but me myself as well, hello everyone. But me myself, I've performed at shows as an artist before. In my first, when I was 16, I'm 19 now, but back then I didn't have any, I was just singing. I would pick my guitar up and sing and get on stage and perform. And that was that. And although I wanted to put music out, I didn't know the process of it all. So when people went after my show, people would like, come back and, give me their small pitch, like, oh, like, do you have, music out? Like, I can help you with that. If you need a manager, I can help you out with that. But my mom was a hairstylist, so she knew everybody in our hometown. So there was the one client, her name, Nukrisa, and she used to help me, she helped me give me free information because she herself was an artist. And she told me that I needed to hone in on the business side of it all, because especially so young that I am, and being blindsided by all would have been overwhelming. And I didn't know how to copyright. I didn't know how to trademark my name. I didn't know how to LLC my name to make sure that, I'm a lucrative business and that I'm representing myself as a business and not just an artist. And then we would get on FaceTime calls and walk through the process of copyright.gov. And she told me, like, because even now, I still, the money end of being an artist is very expensive. So I didn't know if I was supposed to purchase like my songs, like once copyright is done. But she actually told me, like, you can just leave it there. As long as it's copywritten under your name, you're good. You can go and release a song. I was like, I've been waiting 3 years for nothing to release the song. But yeah, so I would say definitely bring value and find those pockets of space that you don't know are filled yet within an artist, because you just don't know what they don't know. So yeah. Hope that was helpful.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna piggyback on that. Since I do work on like the marketing and social media side and thing, engagement side with my creative agency, for me, it's just I do like consultations. So I do free consultations with the artists to try to figure out what it is that they need and what it is that they're looking for and how they want to elevate their growth on what they're doing. And once we sit down from the consultation, then that's when I'll hand them over, like I'll send them over a package on what's the best service for them and what will work best for them. And then you just kind of, from then on, you start the onboarding process, start creating their content for them or what they're looking for. And it's a great thing to build a relationship with the artist, because you never know. Like what happened for me when it comes to building relationships with meeting new artists is like going to events like this, different social media outings, different anywhere you can just go to be able to go and network with people, because you never know who you're going to meet. This industry is such a broad industry that you can just meet so many different people that can lead you to so many new doors.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with the free consultation thing. I started doing it that way, and whether anything came of it or not, it didn't matter, because if they didn't need me then, it would be maybe like a month later or 2 months later, or even a year later, they'd hit me back. I would go, hey, I remember when I talked to you, you had so many good things. Now I'm ready to move forward on XYZ package or whatever service they were looking for. That's really important. I love that you mentioned the LLC setup and the business side of things, because that's what I do. So I always preach that to everybody. Make sure you're set up, make sure your liability is taken off of you personally, especially once you like own a home and all those things. You don't want that to ever be at risk with your business, especially if you're in like a higher risk business. But yeah, that's obviously very important to do, and getting, a lot of people don't know that stuff, and it's not easy to Google when it's applicable to like the music industry. It's easy to find it for a restaurant or something, but all these like kind of niche type businesses within the industry, it's hard to find all those resources. So yeah, I like that the free consultation definitely helps. Just at least like make that connection, and then they'll think of you the next time, or when they can't hire you, maybe they know a friend that does, and they're like, oh, I just talked to this girl, she was awesome, like talk to her, she's great. And that word of mouth spreads like wildfire.
Thank you. Okay.
Also, I found the book that I was reading, in case you want to purchase it or get the PDF for it. It's called All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald S. Passman. It's a very good read, and it goes through literally everything. So yeah, I would recommend that.
We've used that book for a lot of my music industry courses at my school, and it is like a very good read. It's a very easy read if anyone's like truly interested in it. I like it a lot.
Yes, I've heard of it. I just haven't gotten it yet. Thank you. Okay, Camille, let you ask your question.
Hello, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me well. I am driving. Sorry about that. So I just had a question about navigating college. So a lot of universities, and a very few universities I've realized don't offer music business specifically, or like it's within the, obviously have music schools or business schools, but nothing catered directly to the industry. So I just wanted to know how, if anybody else decided to has a different major, or just how they navigated university, and when it came to using their degree as a tool to help them in their career. And also, Hannah, I really do like your shirt, by the way. I wish when I would have been on my way. I live literally in Queens, so I just want to say I really like your shirt. So
I'll unmute for a second because I have the same like problem, because I knew that I wanted to go to school for music industry. It was like all I wanted to do my whole life. It's like the only thing I had like a general interest in. So when I was applying to colleges, I was like, yeah, I can't find this. I live in Ohio. Can't find it anywhere. And I really didn't want to go out of state, the usual. And so currently my major is tourism, hospitality, and event management. And then when I found out that my school also offers a minor in music industry, then I was like totally blown away. So I can also say I've really truly like struggled with like not knowing, like I was like, I really don't know like how I'm gonna like get to like where I want to be. But I think that like that I found like opportunities within my school to like get connected. For example, I was in our music industry club for a little bit, and then I had to back out of it for a couple of reasons. But because of that, I am now currently managing a girl who was within that club. So I think like if you can find opportunities within your school that relate back to something you're interested in, you can always like follow back onto that, even if you're not pursuing a degree in it, because if it's something you've participated in, you're still gaining that experience with it, which I think is really important. Sorry, that was a lot.
no, thank you so much. Thank you. It's always great to see where everybody else got their degree, because I know a lot of people don't specifically get their degree in music or music business specifically. So it's just great to see where everybody else has their background in.
Yes, that's definitely how I am. I just have my bachelor's degree in marketing. I got it just strictly in that. And now I'm about to do my master's in creative business leadership. But what I like paid attention to, it's like the roles that you could get with that. You can like, it's like a broad thing that you could get, even if you don't like necessarily want to continue in the music industry, you can also work in different other industries. For me, like when it comes to like getting in, even if you don't like, your school doesn't have like anything that involves music industry, it's when you kind of find different things that like on social media. That's when I kind of navigated through social media, finding different outlets that I can join, like different people that does writing opportunities, photography opportunities, street teams can easily join, like Fan to Band. They have their amazing street team. Finesse Media has amazing Zoom meetings that they do like this, that they have educational tools for people. She is a producer, has educational tools. It's like just finding different ways that you can get involved if your schools doesn't have that opportunity for you.
Yeah, definitely. I went to school later. I actually just graduated last week. And I did it online. I did it through Berkeley Online, and I did their bachelor's degree in music business. And then I probably will do the master's. I know that can be expensive. Their school is generally expensive, and I don't think they have like an in-state, out-of-state difference. I think you just pay what it is for online. But they have that program. I have seen some of the people I've hired that wanted music business degrees, but their schools didn't offer it. They would do a hybrid, kind of like I think what Hannah was mentioning, where like they would start in like tourism or business or something along those lines, and then they might have like a minor option for music industry, or I know the one out here is like music entertainment, and it kind of still touches on like all aspects of the music industry lightly, but then maybe your heavier focus is marketing or entertainment or tourism or something like that too. But there are a couple other schools that offer online music business degrees as well as just like their certificate programs too, which might be helpful. And then of course everything that was said about all of the online, like the fan to band, amplify her voice, those are all great communities of people that you can gather with outside of your school if they don't offer those things.
Hi guys, if I can chime in, I know I missed part of it, but I think I caught on to the question was what our backgrounds were education wise and what opportunities came out of there. Is that right? Okay, great. So I actually got to go to NYU for undergrad, but I was originally on a generic pre-law track. And then at some point, I kind of accepted that I didn't like it and I wanted to go into entertainment. The nice thing about a larger university is that you can switch gears, right? So I actually got to do a couple of minors through the Tisch School of the Arts because the Clive Davis Institute of Recording Music that NYU does have, it was so small, so rigid and hard to get into. And then they have the other music based school, Steinhardt, which does actually have a music business track, but was also, you had to know before even applying what you wanted to do. And that's, not something that every 17, 18-year-old is going to have in pocket, right? So I actually pivoted and I did 2 minors in the Tisch School, which they had a collaborative system with my school, the generic larger one. So I did cinema studies and film and television production as minors. But my trajectory there was actually as part of the second minor, in the production minor, I actually got to do an internship here in New York City at Viacom. And through there, I actually specifically interned in their music licensing department, which is part of their legal team. So that was like a kind of a roundabout way to get into it, but it was actually an opportunity to, get to see what a major network puts work into in terms of licensing with all sorts of labels, major, minor, independent, what kind of repertoire they keep in-house in order to see like, oh, this label is easy to work with and easy to, get our contracts back really quickly so that we can get this out immediately. So in that context, I was able to work on VH1 countdown shows, such as like women, the top 100 greatest women and blah, 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 or, top, 2005 pop song, whatever it was. So, I was, through that internship, through college, able to, kind of just be one of just like 2 people on the team, just very hands-on in terms of getting out contracts, actually like communicating with those same clearance people, clearance teams at all sorts of labels. And, at some point, I'm sure it's been touched upon already while I was gone, but, that's where a lot of like the songwriting money comes into play too. On the other business side of things is you want people to buy your music, to play it on commercials, on TV, etc. Like that's where more money will come in. What if you're, you know, sticking more to the artistic side of things. So that was kind of my roundabout way to end up here.
Okay, Hannah, you can ask your question.
Okay. I was gonna ask, so in terms of like education, like obviously, like I said before, I'm like going and getting my bachelor's degree, and do you think getting a master's is like beneficial to like this career, or would you say networking at an early age and just immediately like jumping into it would benefit you more than like educating yourself more like within a school and getting a degree?
I don't think you necessarily need a master's. I feel like a lot of jobs just like ask for bachelor's. Masters, I feel like it's just like a bonus. So I don't think necessarily if you don't like want to get your master's, you like have to worry about that.
So I'll say this. I've seen both work, but I will tell you that the music industry and jobs in the music industry are very fickle. You can go to a company 1 year and you'll see somebody and you'll return the next year and that person will be gone. Okay. And there is no guarantee that they'll get another job in the industry. So if your goal is to consistently work in any industry, by all means get your master's. But if your goal is to participate in the music industry, then you need to make sure that you are around people with enough power and influence to make sure that you are getting checks. Oftentimes, what I've seen, the things that people get in position behind would blow your mind. There are people who actually got jobs at labels from working at Foot Locker because every time people that worked at the label came in, the person was dressed well. Okay, so this isn't a business that's fair. This isn't a business that's run on rules and degrees. It ain't no rules. And it doesn't matter whether you have a degree or not. It matters if you're working for corporate. But if you're trying to participate in the networking, the scene, you don't need a degree. You need a strong mouthpiece and the ability to understand that the people who can help you are they're looking for more superficial things. They may never ask about your degree qualifications. They will put you in position because they like you or they like something about you or there's something about you that can help them get what they want. So it depends on what your goal is. Also, networking early in your career is absolutely necessary because the people that you meet first will generally be there in some capacity for the rest of your life. They will be there for the rest of your life. They will help you. They will recommend you. They will vouch for your work ethic. Sight unseen, even if they haven't talked to you in years, they'll be there for you. So, and you don't know what ranks of power they will ascend to, but ultimately it's best to make sure that you position yourself to network because yes, get a degree if you want to work in general, but if you want to work in the music business, your relationships will save you quicker than a degree will.
If you hear a dog in the background, it's my sister's dog going crazy. You guys, your next questions.
I had a question about songwriting opportunities. So like I am an artist, but I am also a songwriter first. But especially now that I'm not in my hometown, I'm in Texas now. But now that I'm in a new place, especially now, I don't know how to get those opportunities. Now that I'm in a foreign place, I don't know anybody here. So I'm not really knowing where to go as far as, getting to those opportunities to be able to songwrite for others. And be able to put myself in those studio recording spaces and be able to both either record or make demos for those people. I have a studio of my own, but yeah, just to give, yeah.
But like she's in her hyper state right now. But like, I mean, like different.
So what I would suggest for that is, one, understand that there are big operations, big acts that have come out of Texas that you need to figure out, okay, where are their offices? This isn't Meg Thee Stallion. She needs hooks. Where's her office? Where are the people that signed her? There are opportunities, but yeah, you might need to get a plane ticket to Atlanta, Los Angeles, or New York to attend some of those songwriters meetings that I was telling you about, because ultimately that's where this happens. I know people, you have to get in the room with the artist, and a lot of times people that are connected to the artist spend a lot of time at BMI, CSAC, and ASCAP. Also, every year, BMI and ASCAP have awards that they give out for songwriters. Make a plan to attend and meet some of those people. Sessions go on all the time, but I want to encourage you to understand where the hub of opportunity is. It is around the people that pay the money, all right? And that is BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC. The labels pay mechanical royalties too. And it's not impossible to make this happen, but I do think that we have to really be clear on where the people who are able to get success. Okay, so the nearest office, if you're in Texas, you either need to go to Nashville or Atlanta. And I don't think those are that close. You have ASCAP is in New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, Puerto Rico, London, and Nashville. You can go on BMI's website and see the same thing, but ultimately that is where you need to go. Everywhere I go, I tell people this, because that's not, you can get in the room with artists, but a lot of times when you do it that way and you don't have a relationship with your performance rights organization, you'll see everybody around you make money and you won't, because you don't have a relationship with BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. When you get a placement and you walk into BMI and you say, this is the song that I wrote and this is the artist, they will ensure that your royalties are calculated and registered. I just can't stress it enough. No matter what city you're in, that's the way to do it. Now, there are other organizations like Sound Exchange. They pay for vocal royalties. SAG-AFTRA has a great artist fund. If you end up singing background for somebody, you get a check for that. There's also MLC. What is the other one? Harry Fox Agency. The first time you get a major placement, you can register a company with the Harry Fox Agency and get paid. But ultimately, if you're trying to move your career forward and you're trying to figure out where to go, step one is BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. CSAC is invite only, but anybody can join BMI and ASCAP, and they're bigger than CSAC. But ultimately, yes, it's time for you to put yourself among the people who are writing checks. You're young enough for somebody to see you and say, hey, well, come on down. I'm over here at Sound on Sound. This is a new artist that signed, come through. And after every writer session that I went to when I was a young goddess in my teens, I ended up around people who had the power to make something happen for me. Without fail, people leave those camps and go to the studio. Put yourself in a position to participate in that and you won't lose.
Okay, I have time to do about 2 more questions. Anybody else has any more questions? No more questions. Okay. Oh, Camille, you can ask your question.
Oh, I have something. So the young lady that talked in Austin, Texas, Austin, which is where South by Southwest is, there's a BMI office in Austin, Texas. You need to go there. It's at 1400 South Congress Avenue, Suite B200. I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you're in Texas and you're trying to figure it out, that's where you need to go. They know everybody in the music business because everybody wants a check. All right, that's where you need to go. BMI in Austin, Texas. All right.
I got the plug right then and there. Okay, Camille, you can ask your question.
Sure. So, like Jeannie was saying, I am based in New York City, and it is one of the music capitals. And this is where all the magic happens and where all the usually the big decisions are made. So, for being in one of the major cities, how would you go about navigating or taking advantage of the opportunities? Because sometimes it can be overwhelming. I feel like there's a lot of things pushing you, things that may look like opportunities, but are just like to sidetrack you. So it's just navigating and taking advantage of the proper opportunities and getting your foot in the proper doors. I guess that's you can say. Just how would you go about navigating that in like such a major city and where so many things are going on in like at one time. So
you already know what I'm gonna say. Go to BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC. That's what I did. Let me tell you, I went to New York and I lived there and I made sure that I went to those BMI meetings and I developed a relationship with them. And I'm still eating off of the things that I did when I was 20. Still, I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but you can take a wild guess if I've been in the business for 18 years. I'm still getting paid from the decision that I made to go to a BMI office. I am still getting paid. I'm still working with the people that I met who said, oh yeah, go hang out over there at Universal. That is it. That's the only way to know that you're in somewhere legitimate. You can go to these little studios and they will fool you and you won't have a publishing company. You won't get any money. If you are clicked in with the people that pay, you can't lose, but you must make it your business to head straight over to BMI. I bet you right now, if I went to BMI's website, I can tell you when their next event is. And you need to show up, baby, because it's no other game in town. It's no other game in town. You want to go over here to the studio? Bet. They're going to hope that you don't have a publishing company or a writers, because their name will be on a song that you wrote and you'll be at home vomiting like, man, I can't believe this person is a millionaire. And I didn't show up because I didn't decide to make a publishing company. There is no other route. I'm telling you, there's no other route, because the goal here is longevity. The goal here is to get paid. Unless you are friends with somebody at a label, you need to be at the performance rights organizations, because they're the people that have the power, because they're kind of giving to the community. They're giving to the community of artists. All right, so let's see if we can find anything on the calendar, because I want you to be at an event. BMI workshops. Okay. They're having something in Texas. BMI 101, Los Angeles. I'm looking for something in New York. Can we get New York? BMI Composers Workshop. BMI 101 is the place that you need to go, and it's actually virtual, so there's literally no excuse. It takes place Monday on the 10th floor from noon to 1 p.m. You need to RSVP. I'm going to check the calendar for the next session, but ultimately, can I find it? May 16th. So we just missed one on May 16th. They're even having stuff in Kansas City. Okay, the next one, BMI 101, is May 26th, and it's going to be online, or if you're in the city, you can show up. That's where you need to go. You need to go straight there. You don't need to pass go. You don't need to collect $200. That's where you need to go. Okay? You need to go straight there, because that BMI 101, that will get you everything you need. All right, and I'm sending you the link. Okay, so it's right here. I think I might show up. We should all mob out and show up, because it's worth it. And that's how you get paid. That is literally how you get paid. You get paid 4 or 5 times a year. You go to AFTRA if you sing background, AFTRA, SAG, AFTRA, Artist Fund, you go there. And then there's another person that I would personally recommend you to, Maria Davis. She has an artist showcase. I used to work for her as a singer waitress, and she's the lady, if you've ever heard Jay-Z's album, she's the lady who's yelling his first album, "Oh, everybody be quiet." She's the person, and even Jay-Z went to her open mics. Everybody in the industry goes to her open mics. So if you're ever looking for an event to go to, look up Maria Davis, Mad Mondays. That's where you would go. And you could tell her Janine sent us, your old singing waitress, Janine sent you. But yeah, she would welcome you and she would put you in touch with a lot of people who are really famous already. All right, so there's the calendar. It's online, so anybody can attend no matter where you are.
Thank you so much.
You're
We're
welcome.
gonna close out because our time's running out again, but I had a wonderful time. We're also doing this tomorrow, so I will be, if anybody else is joining again tomorrow, I will be seeing you guys, and there's more panelists that's gonna be on tomorrow. And then we have it again in June. I do have a vision. I want to bring this actually to the cities, different cities, and do a live event of Fangirl music industry. So that's definitely something I've been working and planning out in the future. You guys will all get a list of all the panelists' social media accounts that they gave me and LinkedIn accounts, so you guys can connect with them and follow them on what they're doing, because look at how amazing everyone is. It was great having you guys a part of this. It was great talking with everyone, connecting with everyone. I really love doing this and can't wait to do more of it. So, bye everyone.